There are times when you need to section your document. So first of all, what is a section break? So here I have a nice document. The Coffee Island chain is going to start think about adding wine to the mix, and so here is a document all about mixing and matching and choosing wine. And as we can see, it's got lots of pages. Down here I've got 7 pages. Now one of these pages has a list on it. Here we go, wines for the meal, and I would actually like this page to be landscape, but I'd like the rest of the document to stay portrait. So I want to flip this one page. Now I can change the orientation of the document as I go through, but if I do so, it might change for the whole thing, and I don't want that in this case. So what I'm going to do is add in a couple of page breaks, special page breaks called section breaks, and these section breaks will then allow me to change the formatting for this section. So I will end up with section 1 of the document, section 2 of the document, and section 3, and section 2 I will change to landscape. So here we go. So just in front of wines for the year, I'm coming to page layout. I'll go into breaks and I'll choose a continuous section break because I'm already on a new page. So I'm going to start my section there. And at the end of this list here, I'm going to put in another section break. This time I'm going to make it as next page section break because I want to make sure that that page stays together. Now you'll notice it's moved the text down a little bit. I'm just going to use the delete key to bring that text back to the top of the page. So now I have a section break in front of wines for the meal and a section break at the end of the Sauvignon. And I can see those breaks by going to the Home tab and clicking the Show Hide button over here. And that shows me that my section break continuous is just above the heading, and at the bottom I've got my next page section break at the bottom. So I'm going to just turn that off for the moment. Now I'm going to make sure that my cursor is inside my section, and I'm going to change the orientation of just this page. And I'll do that by going to page layout, and for this I'm going to launch the dialog box because it's a bit easier to see what I'm doing. I want to change the page from portrait to landscape, and down here it says apply to, and I'm choosing this section. The other options are this point forward or the whole document. So I'm going to leave it for this section, just for this page, and I'll click OK. Notice that my page with wines for the meal is now landscape, and here we go, it goes on. Now you might be saying to yourself, she only wanted one page to be landscape, why have I got 2? What you have to take into consideration is the size of a page. When the page is portrait, you have less text on the row but more rows on the page, and when your text is landscape you have more text in the row and less rows on the page. So what's happened here, because I have this list of individual entries, it's pushed that onto 2 pages. Now if I wanted to see the sections, the easiest place to see that is in headers and footers. So if I just double click at the top of this page, I've gone into my header and footer view, and there's a whole other lesson on headers and footers. I just want to show you here that we are in header of section 2, and up here this is the footer of section 1. So if I go to the top of the document, there's my header for section 1. I go down and there's my footer for section 1. And I'm still in section 1 because these pages are all portrait, but now I've come to section 2 where my landscape page starts. And if I go on down there, I've still got my header for section 2, and then I go on to section 3 where it flips back to portrait. So I'll just close header and footer view for now, and as I said, we'll have another lesson on headers and footers. So that's how you can use section breaks to break up your document so that you can change the headers and footers or the orientation or the formatting for part of your document.